Hi, I'm Roanna from Zeidman Development, and today I'm going to show you how to import data from FundRazr into your Razor's Edge using Importacular. If you open your Importacular plugin, the first screen that will pop up shows all of the available data sources. So in this scenario, if we click on the FundRazr logo, then we can see the FundRazr data source field pops up. The first thing we need to select is the status of the transactions to retrieve. So I'm going to look at completed transactions. Next, we need to enter the maximum number of claimed items to retrieve for each donation. This number may vary depending on your organisation and the data you're looking to bring across, but for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to leave this as 1. And the last thing we need to do is specify the date range that we want to import from. So once I've done all of that, I'll click OK, and Importacular will start downloading the data. And we can see here that there are 3 records for review during this time period. So the next thing we need to do is to create a mapping template. We click the green plus and give our template a name, FundRazr Demo Template, and save. And now Importacular opens up and we can see all of the different areas that we may want to build mappings for. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a new constituent mapping. The first column here shows all of the Razor's Edge fields in the constituent area. The next column on the drop-down shows all of the available fields from FundRazr. So now I just need to work my way down this list and map the relevant fields where I want to bring across data. So I'll map the first name field, and we can see surname is a required field. I want to map that as well. And I'm going to remove the mapping of ID. If the name of the field is identical between Razor's Edge and FundRazr, Importacular will automatically map those. If you want to map that field, then you can leave it in, otherwise you can remove it as I just have. Once you're happy with that, you can click to save mapping and move along to our next mapping. Now I'm going to add a new mapping for email address. And I'm going to change the mapping here, so I want the Razor's Edge phone number field to map to the email field in FundRazr. And I'm going to give the phone type a default value of email. The last thing I'm going to do for this import is to add a mapping under gifts. We can see down the left-hand side there are a number of required fields for the gift mapping. So I'm just going to scroll down and ensure that I have all of those required fields mapped. And once all of those are mapped, I can click to save my gifts mapping as well. So once you're happy with your template, you can save and close. And back on this screen, the next thing we need to do is to add a control report. So if you click on the binoculars icon and add an Excel file as your control report, and this means that if there are any lines of data that cannot be imported or there's any errors, then those error messages will get written to the control report for your reference later. You can also create a Razor's Edge query for any new and updated constituents or any exceptions. And then once you're ready, click to continue onto the data review screen. So in the top half of the data review screen, we can see the different tabs. So this is the different data that we've mapped to bring across into Razor's Edge. And we can see here we've got our 3 records for review. Now the first column here, action to take. First line, we can see Importacular cannot detect a match for this constituent, therefore it's telling me to create a new record for Edward Grady. The next 2 lines, the action to take is decide. So this means that Importacular has detected a match of sorts, but it's not an exact match. So it's asking me to decide whether or not I want to create a new record for Cleo Parker and Margaret Edwards, or whether I'd like to update the existing records it's found. So from looking down in the bottom half of the screen, I can see there's two others with the surname Parker, but they're not Cleo, so I would like to create a new record for Cleo. And the same again for Margaret. So now I'm happy with my action to take for those 3 lines as create. I'm going to click to validate my data. And we can see here from the import summary report that there will be 3 new records on Razor's Edge and 3 gifts added to batch. So if I uncheck the validate only, get rid of that screen, I can see here I've got the option to import now. And again, I can see in my summary report, my 3 new records have been imported and 3 gifts have now been added to batch. So if we go across to batch and we go in here, here are the 3 gifts that I want to commit. So if I click to commit those now, then we can go ahead and have a look on the records. So there's my batch commit control report, which I'm now going to close down here. And then we'll go across and we'll look at one of the records. And here we can see Cleo Parker's record. We can see the email address has been added. And we can see that the gift is now there as well. So that is how you import data from FundRazr into Razor's Edge using Importacular.